Alright, so let's cover recovery. Now training's fantastic, but it's actually when we're outside of the gym and just kind of chill and relaxing that we actually grow stronger and recover. Now we've all experienced this, the soreness following a training session, and it typically occurs 24 to 48 hours post-workout. Now the correct term for this soreness is DOMS, and that's delayed onset muscle soreness. It's delayed about a day or two after, and it can last up to 3 to 4 days following that. Now there's a bit of a misconception as to what it is and how to overcome it. So obviously there is this notion that when we train, we build up lactic acid, a waste product within the muscle, and it is this kind of waste product sitting within there that causes the soreness following. And that's not true. Although yes, we do build up lactic acid within the muscle, that is not the culprit for these DOMS. See, when you exercise, when you train, whatever it is your method is, all you're doing is constantly shortening and lengthening muscle. Think of a bicep curl. You've got the lengthening phase and a shortening phase. And what you're doing over the course of your workout is you are causing very little micro tears along the muscle fibre. And it is these micro tears that cause inflammation, and they are what give you the soreness following the workout. So with that said, what a lot of people tend to do following a workout, and there's nothing wrong with it, is they will stretch off and again actively stretch the muscle again when it's already been damaged, because they're under the notion that that'll release lactic acid. And again, there's nothing wrong with that, but that is just not what it is, and that is not how to overcome it. So let's get into it. First things first, let's just go over this whole no pain no gain malarkey. Is it a good or bad thing? It's actually neither. Again, it's completely normal. It's just a byproduct of training when you've got a new stimulus. So some people feel like if they're not sore, it was a wasted workout, and some people are always sore. See, as you go through a program, over time, you will somewhat adapt to that exercise. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. You'll just become more efficient at it. And as a byproduct from that, typically you'll be less sore as time goes on. However, if you switch things up, go a little bit crazy, throw in a new exercise or add a bit more weight, again, a new stimulus, that will elicit a little bit of soreness. So again, it's not good or bad, it's just one of them things, you know, it happens. So let's just get that notion out of our heads. You don't need to be sore, and if you're not sore, it's not the end of the world. So the first tip I give anyone who's suffering from DOMS is increase your protein intake. I mean, protein has a vast amount of benefits, one of which is its responsibility within the body is regenerative processes. So it's not just muscle, nails, hair, skin. All these things that constantly keep regenerating themselves require protein. With that said, the nutrient protein is the building blocks, i.e. amino acids, that are used to create this rebuilding process. And again, most people just simply still aren't eating enough. Research shows anywhere between 0.5 to 1 gram per pound of body weight is suffice. So for example, if you weigh 180 pounds, that's anywhere between 90 to 180 grams of protein a day. That should be enough for these processes. So again, if you're sore, take a look at your protein intake. Right, next one is circulation. There's going to be a couple under this umbrella. The first tip, one of the best things you can do if you're ever sore is literally just go for a walk. When we promote circulation through blood flow, what it does is that helps transport nutrients to the muscle, and I touched on this before, as well as taking away waste product. So you take yourself for a nice stroll through circulation, you're going to go through this process of delivering nutrients to the muscle, i.e. protein, carbs, vitamin, minerals, etc., as well as taking away that lactic acid. Again, I'm not talking about a 2-hour run, just go for a gentle stroll. Another little trick you can do for circulation is hot-cold treatments. Now, as sinister as that looks, I'm not saying burn yourself, I'm not saying take a trip to the North Pole. But we've obviously got access to things like hot baths, saunas, steam rooms, these sort of things, or things like ice baths and cryotherapy. So the way this one works is when we're hot, we go through something called a vasodilation. Everyone's aware of this. When we heat up, blood is taken away from the center of our body and it's taken to extremities, so hands, skin. This is why we get kind of red cheeks. This is why if you're lean enough, your veins will start to pop a little bit on your arms. Again, it's called vasodilation. It's blood trying to get to the surface of your skin to allow heat to escape. Likewise, when we're in the freezing cold, everyone knows this, blood will go to the center organs. This is why frostbite's common in, very cold conditions. Extremities aren't needed to have blood in, so it goes to the most important part of our body. Now again, they're very extreme scenarios, but things like hot baths and again ice baths, what they do, they create what you call a sponging effect. And rugby players are well known for doing this. Get yourself a nice hot bath. What will it do? It will take blood away from the centre and to our extremities. And like I said before, this is promoting circulation. So again, it goes back to blood coming in, transporting nutrients, and as well taking away waste product. Again, same with ice baths. It's going to take blood away from the arms, away from the limbs, and the same process occurs. But in most realistic terms, a hot bath will do. And one more under the circulation umbrella, caffeine. Again, this will promote blood flow. Again, caffeine is an adrenal stimulant, therefore it increases heart rate, thus promoting circulation. So you can go for a nice walk, have a nice hot bath, have a cup of coffee in the morning. These are all going to help. Another super important one, sleep. Again, research shows anywhere between 7 to 9 hours is suffice. When you're sleeping, when you're in a deep sleep known as REM sleep, it is in this state that our body goes to town on recovery. Everything you've done that day gets rebuilt, recovered, repaired, the whole shebang whilst you're in a deep sleep. So if you're putting yourself into a pretty intense training routine, you best make sure that you're also getting a good sleep schedule. Like I said, anywhere between 7 to 9 hours. And last but not least, simple enough, are you even incorporating off days? Again, training's fantastic, but it's always perceived as stress on the body. And if you're going in day after day after day after day, constantly just doing this all the time, you're probably never going to quite recover. You're going to risk injury. There's nothing wrong with having a training day, an off day, a training day, an off day, and so on. As your recovery gets better, like I said at the start, as you adapt, sure, you can throw in an extra training day, but be just as flexible. If you're not recovering and you're still going in and nothing's quite getting better, Jesus, have a rest day. You know, like, don't be afraid to think, you know what? Today just isn't the day. I'm not recovered. I'm going to have a hot bath. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to have a coffee. And I'm going to come back stronger tomorrow. Doesn't that sound better? Yeah, it does. So, if you want to grow big and strong like this guy, make sure you've got a good recovery protocol. So quick recap, protein, get it up there, promote circulation, go for a walk, include caffeine, get a nice hot bath if need be. Make sure that you're getting decent sleep each and every single night, and if you need a rest day, just take it. It's going to be a lot more beneficial than going in there, breaking down further, and taking another step back, delaying the whole recovery thing. So I really hope that helped.